was just fun. So since I wasn't worried about any of that stuff, I wasn't stressed about playing football. I wasn't like, I ain't got no offers by junior year. I'm hearing all my teammates saying, I ain't gonna go. Do you want to do that? I'm like, it is what it, I mean, I'm like, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, once you playing and just having fun, bro, you don't worry about the recruiting process and what other coaches got to say about you.
Yeah.
It's gonna come. Yeah. And you just start to see it. And I, you know, having fun just playing got me my first offer to University of San Diego. You sitting on the couch being sad about what you got going on is not going to get you nowhere, but in a deep depression.
Yeah.
And like you gotta realize like, bro, you a child of God at the end of the day. Man. You got a blessing on the other side of the door waiting for you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to walk through that door. You feel me?
It's open and walk through it for sure.
It's already unlocked. You just gotta go and grab your blessing,
exactly, bro. So when all you do your entire life, 24/7, it's one thing. And then all of a sudden now that thing is gone. It's like, you know, you got to pivot, and it's like trying to figure out what's next. Where can I put this? Because you know the work ethic you got. You know what I mean? You know the talent and the, you know, the things that you bring to the table. And it's like, where I know I can be successful in whatever it is that I want to do.
Right.
The problem is, what is it that I want to do? Because football is only, you know, whatever the sport is has been the main thing in my life. What's up, Cougar Nation? Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Y. I'm your host, Hinckley Ropati, and we got a special guest today. Everybody welcome Malik Moore. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, Malik, I appreciate you again for taking the time to, you know, out of your busy schedule and being here with us, brother. Seriously, man.
Yeah, appreciate you having me, bro. I'm trying to wonder how they got you the host of this, though.
Yeah, bro. I know this is not my forte. You already know, bro. But you know, we trying
behind
our best
closed
out
doors.
here.
Don't let him fool y'all. Behind closed doors, that smile is 24/7.
Oh man, so. Everybody knows Malik, you know, he was number 12, standout safety here at BYU. He's done a lot of things during his time at BYU. Actually, let's talk about some of the things he's done. It's pretty impressive. Let's see here.
I'm trying to
he earned all independent honors in 2021.
Okay.
Tied with the most interception. Yeah, with Jacob Robinson in 2021, the most interceptions. He was Pro Football Network all independent first team defense, Phil Steele all-independent second-team defense, part of the Pro Football Network all-independent defensive secondary of the year in 2021. And now he is branching out into different avenues, different things that he's been caught up with. He's the founder of a clothing brand called Ordinary People, and still involved with BYU football game day as the MC, which was crazy because I just found that out literally the first day, the first game day, and I was like, "Oh dang, what, Lee?" Which is dope. And let's talk about that, bro. Well, before we get into all of that, let's talk about you, Lee. So you're from. Just talk about where you're from and
for sure,
kind of your family a little bit.
Yeah, bro. So. You know, I grew up a military kid. So my dad was Navy. He was actually Special Forces, SWCC. He wasn't a SEAL, but he works with SEALs. They do the same thing. Watch Active Valor, then you know what he do. So it's pretty dope. He did a lot of that stuff. So I was definitely shirt growing up, making my bed up every day. And so I was actually born in Indiana. It's crazy. Then, you know, moved to Mississippi, was raised there for, you know, years and years of my life. From Mississippi, moved to San Diego, California. And then, played football. Started playing football actually my sophomore year in high school. Played baseball all growing up.
Wait, hold up. Wait, so you're saying you played football?
From sophomore year in high school.
So you didn't play before that?
No.
What was your baseball?
1 year, but I didn't like getting like tackled and touched and all that.
Oh, dang. Did you play other sports, though? Was there any other
baseball,
sports?
That's it.
Okay, that was your main thing.
In the South, in Mississippi is baseball. Like, I'm playing baseball year round. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was my love. Yankee fan, Jeter fan. You see the wow on me already. Like, so football was new to me because the kids that I had played baseball with were all football guys.
Yeah, okay.
And so they have, and actually my mom was super big on education. So I went to this high school called High Tech High. And I think it was a school founded, or like, you know, I think Bill Gates was funding the school and stuff like that. So it was project based. There was no like, not really take home homework. It was just projects. So we did projects for like the San Diego Zoo, like made aviaries.
Oh, dang.
We did like media art stuff. So I was already doing
Is this
like
a private
Photoshop.
school?
Huh?
Is it a private school?
No, but you did have to like, it was like a lottery ticket to get in.
Oh, damn.
So you kind of have, so no matter where you lived in the city, you can go, you just had to get picked in the lottery.
Yeah, exactly.
For me, I lived right on the same block as the school, or not the same block, but I'm 5 blocks down to school. So for me, it was, it was easier to get in. But so I went there in middle school, and then to their middle school, then went to their high school called High Tech High Media Arts. So I was taking Photoshop classes. I was doing projects. I was doing like our science projects were, working with batteries, just random stuff.
Oh, so you guys were super like hands-on with a lot of things. That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So everything was teamwork. And so it was actually a pretty dope school. They didn't have any sports though, hence why I never, didn't play football or anything like that. And so I was playing baseball for the Peninsula Little League in San Diego or Point Loma, and all those cats went to Point Loma High School. Mm-hmm. And they were like, where do you even go to school? I'm like, I go to High Tech High. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like they looking at me like I'm lame, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like High Tech High, y'all
don't know sports.
Yeah. They had our football was flag football. Like that. I played flag football my freshman year in high school, and everyone was playing flag football. Was like, bro, why are you playing flag football? Go get your butt and transfer somewhere else, dog. And so so the kids I was playing baseball with, fair enough, they were like, here, bro, you should transfer and try football out. And so I ended up transferring my sophomore year. I talked to my mom about it. I was like, Mom, I just want to play sports. That's really all I want to do. And she was like, cool. And then transferred my sophomore year, played football. I started playing football then. I was already a little fast. I just had to work on the skill aspect of it. And I just kept growing. I played JV, played like a little bit of varsity my sophomore year, but not really a lot. And then junior year came around. That's when I was just full varsity. And then sophomore year, whatever. So yeah, bro.
That's pretty impressive, bro. That you started playing your sophomore year tackle football.
Yeah.
And you were able to get to the highest level of, collegiate play, know where you at. Kind of talk about that, because obviously being new to the sport, basically, tackle football your sophomore year, and then being recruited to come play at BYU. To kind of talk about that process.
But I'm not going to lie, like, I think my process was so easy for me because I was oblivious to how all of it worked. I didn't know about recruiting. Bro, what was that recruiting? It was like a recruiting site that kids used to go on. You had to pay to be on it. And
I know what you're talking about. I never used it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember the name of the site.
Yeah.
Did you use that?
I used that site, but it's not like I got anything really from it.
Yeah.
But my parents were they didn't know anything about the recruiting world and how all this stuff worked either. So they were like, let's just try all we can. And, that was one of the options that we did. And I put my film on there, and I would like email tons of coaches, but I wasn't emailing like Tennessee, like University of Tennessee, D1. I was emailing James Madison. I'm looking up schools that got the coolest uniforms, bro. I'm like, oh, Oregon, bad. James Madison, I like the purple. That's cool. Like, and I'm like, I don't know nothing about it, bro. So for me, it was all fun.
It's a whole new world.
Yeah. So, and it was just fun. So since I wasn't worried about any of that stuff, I wasn't stressed about playing football. I wasn't like, I ain't got no offers by junior year. I'm hearing all my teammates saying, I ain't gonna go. Do you want to do that? I'm like, it is what it, I'm like, I'm just playing.
Yeah.
And so, once you playing and just having fun, bro, you don't worry about the recruiting process and what other coaches got to say about you.
Yeah.
It's going to come.
Yeah.
And you just start to see it. And I, having fun just playing got me my first offer to University of San Diego.
Oh, dang. Okay.
But they were a private school, so they can give out full ride scholarships.
Okay.
So it was, if I did go there, it'd be on some partial scholarship, and I'd take out some grants, yada, yada. And so with that, I'm like, okay, cool. I got that offer my junior year. And then I think I went to the University of San Diego camp, and they had Jim Harbaugh there from Michigan, because he used to be USD. He used to coach at University of San Diego, and then Coach Lamb used to coach at University of San Diego. And people actually don't know, Coach Lamb didn't coach with like some guys. He didn't coach for schools that, like, I think USD had won like 26 straight championships at the D1 AA or AAA level.
Yeah.
So. And, I don't know if people know Jamal Agnew. I think he plays for the Falcons right now.
Okay.
Or something. He's punt returner. Jacksonville Jaguars, all over the NFL. Okay. he went to University of San Diego and actually went to my high school too. So shout out Jamal, bro. I definitely looked up to him in high school for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, so Coach Lamb was at that camp too.
That's crazy.
And I was doing drills. Funny thing enough, bro, I didn't even finish the camp because I ended up cramping up. But when I tell you, I was going 100% every
Going
drill,
crazy,
the stretches, everything, bro. I'm like going all out and everything I'm doing. And Coach Lamb next to me like, I like those high knees. I'm like, yeah, let me get this. But I'm looking at Michigan like, okay, but Michigan, look, that's Big Ten.
Yeah.
Because now I start to understand, the game a little bit. And I'm just working my butt off, and then Coach Lamb ended up. We exchanged, information. I think it was like Twitter or somewhere. Someone followed me on Twitter or something, and they were saying, "Yeah, we're gonna watch you, whatever, blah blah blah." And then that's when I played my senior year. But my junior year, I was also getting into. I was my first time playing 7-on-7.
Yeah.
So that's really when my skills start to like go from here
and IQ
up here.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, now I'm really balling. Like, all right, my senior year finna go crazy.
Yeah.
And I did. I think I had like 8 picks.
Yeah.
My senior year, I think I played.
But you didn't just play DB.
Yeah, I played receiver.
He was everywhere.
I was
running back.
We ran wing T. So our high school was wing T. So the Z, I was Z. Yep. So I was motion. Wow, every single play. I'm getting the ball, sweeps, everything. But then we had my boy J.L. Skinner. He plays on the Denver Broncos right now. Safety for Boise.
Yeah.
And he was on our team, and we had our homie Cal Grady. He was a walk-on at Michigan. Then we had
y'all had a squad then?
Yeah, we had a tackle that he didn't have I don't think he had a bunch of D1 offers, but he could move though.
Yeah.
And so we had the tools that we needed to be a good team, but the wing T just really wasn't going to cut it at the end of the day.
Oh, for
sure. So we mixed the wing T and the spread offense at our high school.
Oh, dang.
And this was our head coach's last year too. So he was like, let's do it. We got the athletes for it, let's do it. And so that's when I was able to go Z, played outside receiver. I'm playing running back. Yeah. Where we in a 2-back set. Yeah, bro. Like I'm getting halfback tosses to me. Like, so it was super fun, bro. I had like high school. I tell people all the time, high school, I was living in freaking High School Musical. Like it was a dream, bro. Like
that's what's up.
In terms of the football, I'm like, we definitely have fun, and we just expanded our offense. So I got to show my versatility in so many ways. Mm-hmm. So, when I'm getting recruited, I'm telling people I'm trying to be a receiver. I'm trying to do this, do that.
You can do it all.
Do it all.
And that's the one thing when it comes to like, especially with coaches, I mean, you being an athlete, you know what I mean? The things people don't understand, especially at the the high school level, kids understand like, you want to be great at the position you want to play at. Mm-hmm. But if you can do a little bit of everything and you're good at it, you know what I mean? That goes a long way, because special teams goes a long way at this level, and it goes a long way at the next level. And, talking to people who playing at the next level, they always talk about how important it is to be a baller on special teams, being able to be versatile, know how to return or know how to block, all this kind of things. For you in
high school? Did you only play like one position, or did you play?
No, I didn't even play running back in high school.
Really?
Yes, I wasn't a running back. I was actually a slot receiver.
That was my main position. I watched your highlights before. Just the way you was going,
bro. I was just a slot receiver. You know what I mean? And I got my touches at running back. You know what I mean? I was rotating in with them, but I started as slot receiver, and then on defense, like I'm not even kidding, bro. I was a linebacker, then I played safety, and then there was at the end of the game one of our ends went down, so I put my hand in there and I was playing the edge, like you know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Like the last 4 games. Hey, was balling, bro. It was fun, you know what I mean? But that's the one thing that I tell athletes in high school.
You ain't know no better, boy. Imagine hand the ground now.
And I was only like 5'7" at that time, bro. Like I was smaller than I was now, you know what I mean? But like, the grittiness is just want to make plays and just be a playmaker for your team.
High school big too? Did y'all have a big?
Our high school was big, you know what I mean? We had about like 4, I think it was like 4,000 or 5,000 like for the student body, right? So it was a pretty big high school.
And y'all still went Division 1, Division 2.
Yeah.
See, people don't know that about Cali.
Yeah.
And they needed to Cali. It don't matter how big your school is.
Yes, bro.
It's either you're a good team or you're not. Exactly. It's Division 1, Division 2, Division 3.
Yeah. I think because like everywhere else in a row is like
it's 5A, 6A, based off your school size.
Exactly.
Boy, I'm like,
we used to play against like people who had like 1,000. You know what I mean? Like smaller schools, but their team was balling. You know what I mean? From the inner cities. You know what I'm saying?
We're Division 1, and we had like 30 people on our varsity team, dog. Everybody playing both ways, and we out here going. We beat Cathedral, a private school out in San Diego. Like,
oh dang, yeah. Cathedral Catholic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good. Solid squad. We played against them in the playoffs too.
See, look,
like they're a solid team, bro.
Because I think they were open division, so they were y'all's Division 1. Mm-hmm. Our Division 1 are your guys' Division 2. So San Diego has like, you can go D1, but then there's open division. Open division is like, I think 6 teams, and it was all the North County schools like Torrey Pines, Cathedral, all those like rich people and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was like whatever. We came up there and whooped on. But I love California just for that.
High school ball in California is definitely. I think when I'm not trying to like sound, but I think there's like a big like a debate online when every time it comes up, like Cali ball, Florida ball, or Texas ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm super biased, obviously, because like I grew up around Cali ball, and I honestly feel like Cali ball is one of the most complete football, when it comes to high school football.
Dang near.
We don't only just got the skill positions, but we got the trenches too. You know what I mean? Like all around. Yep. And I'll be honest, when I first came to Utah, it's not what it is now. Like Utah now, they balling now. You know what I mean? They got some good.
I think I just watched Lehigh, and someone was telling me they had like 13, 15 kids out there with D1
offers.
I said, huh?
Yeah, no, they definitely come. They're on the come up for sure. And I think they've taken huge strides from when I first got here to Utah. You know
I don't know how easy it is to get an O now or something, but that ain't sound crazy to me.
But let's talk about that, because like obviously we're both from California, right? And you know what I mean. And then both coming here to BYU and playing here in Utah. It's a whole different atmosphere. You know what I mean? Whole different culture here. And I think that's one thing that. It's a little different, is that people don't understand, is that when you come here to Utah, there's a little bit of a different culture, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And obviously you not being a member of the faith, you know what I mean, member of the church, you know what I mean, but you have your own faith. How was navigating that when you first got here to BYU, and what were some of the challenges you faced during that time?
For me, bro, like, because I didn't know what the word Mormon was until 2018, which is when BYU came to my school and took me on a visit and offered me and whatnot. Like, I didn't know. So everything I heard was negative. Yeah. Was negative things and misconceptions and whatnot. So for me, I'm already an open-minded person. Yeah. So, hearing what BYU offer, because, when they come recruit you, they're saying what BYU can offer you, as in, the connections and, the education is up there with Ivy League schools. And that's kind of what I went to BYU for, were those type of things. Because I already told you, my mom was super big on education. So for her, she was like, as long as he don't got to go to the church all the time, then he can go to BYU. And I told her, I was like, yeah, Mom, they got us taking like 14 credits of religion class. She said, what? They ain't tell me that. I was like, it's all good though, Mom. It's all good. I ain't got to go to church or nothing, but we got to take these classes. Yeah. But, being on campus and being at the school, meeting you guys, and talking to y'all, it was just, it was cool it was good for me to see. I think my first class was world religion, and they talked about all different types of religion, like Taoism and Taoism and all type of stuff. And I'm interested in that type of stuff. I believe in my own faith, but I like seeing what other faiths principles are. It's still good, you could take something out of it. You don't have to believe it, but you can take being a good person out of freaking Taoism and be a good person. Like, I don't know. Yeah, so it was kind of easy. I wasn't stuck up on, the Mormon church, everyone being, quote unquote racist, or everyone being, not accepting of the outside world, or whatever else may be said about the church. Yeah. And it's like, there are some things in the church that have been like, that I looked at that I was like, okay, that is a little weird. And that didn't happen too long ago. And, everyone who's not Mormon here, in Utah, it's either they're Mormon, and then when they're not, all they have to say is bad things about the church. Yeah. And it's like, but they don't tell you that, if you need some help, the church is going to give you some money too. Yeah. And it's like, that's the type of stuff that makes the community dope, is everyone stays together and they help each other out. And I think that's why in Utah, everyone's so close knit with each other, because it's just ingrained in their culture to help those out around them and, go forth and serve.
Exactly.
And I just took the good out of everything instead of looking at the bad, because I can't do anything about what they did in 1938. What am I pondering over it for? You can only move forward from it, and you can only progress from it. And I think when it comes to church, regardless of the religion, it's hard to progress with the current times when your church started on these times. And you have these certain views and these certain foundations, and you can't necessarily break those foundations just because of social norms. And so it's like, sometimes I get it. Like, it's hard to just, it's not, I mean, I'm sensitive topics can be said, it can happen. It's like, you don't have to agree with that, but that doesn't mean you don't have to be accepting of that. There's a difference of, just pushing people out all because they may be a certain color or a certain sexuality or whatever the case may be. So, for me, I just took the good out of everything, bro. And I asked you guys a whole bunch of questions. Like,
I remember that.
I'm in the locker room, like, bro, what does this mean? What are y'all talking about?
Yeah, that's the one thing that I love about Malik when we first met. I got to the team, 2 years after you were there. But I remember you were always talking about, like, you were always asking questions. Like, you know what I mean? You and a lot of the boys that were in other faith, you guys were just asking questions because obviously you guys have your beliefs, but then you also started to realize that there's a lot of similarities in a lot of things that we believe, right? And things like that. But I think it's also when you start to see differences and things like that, you ask questions before you judge. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the most important. That's one of the things that I've seen from you from day one. You know what I mean? I remember the first time you asked me about like Polynesian stuff. You know what I mean? Even stuff outside of culture. Like,
I ain't know nothing about the Tongas and the Samoans. All I knew was the Samoans. So I'm like, are you Samoan? No, I'm talking. My bad. Tell me about it then. Like,
and then that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the one thing that I've always loved about you, and respected about you, is that you've always asked questions before you make any judgment based on. I think that's what goes to, I think that's a credit to a lot of why you are successful in anything that you do. You know what I mean? Just because of that personality that you have, right? And so I guess let's kind of transition into obviously life at BYU. You know what I mean? You did your thing. We've already listed all those accolades and the things that you went through and things of that sort. But then you also dealt with some injuries along the way. You know what I mean? And you had your, you know what I mean, your ups and downs with injuries and stuff like that, and kind of affected towards the, the tail end of your career at BYU. And then obviously, that and it was at a crucial time when you're trying to, obviously get to where you want to be. Kind of talk about going through that and some of the, the mental struggles and that, things of that sort.
I think the injuries that I went through at BYU were probably some of the best things that's happened to me at BYU.
Oh, wow.
Because when you're playing Division I sports, it's not a joke when they say it takes up all your time. It's not a joke when they say it takes up all your mental capacity. Like, it really does take a lot to go to school, play the sports you really love. And it may sound easy on paper, but it's just that mental aspect of, bro, I'm not playing right now. So what's my purpose? Or like, I'm not playing, or I'm getting told this and this is happening. I'm getting told to get ready. I got my helmet on and I ain't see the field until 30 seconds in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's a mental aspect of it that people don't understand, and they probably can't really relate to until they are in our shoes. But, when it comes to injuries, it was the best thing because I had time to slow all that stuff down. And I was like, okay, who am I? Or like, what is going on in the outside world that I can bring attention to at BYU? So for instance, in 2020, when they had the George Floyd incident happening, you had all these Black Lives Matter movements happen. And at the time I had just got shoulder surgery. And so I do remember that. So I'm out. So I wasn't even projected to really play that season. Or if I was going to come back. I came back and
way at the end.
October, November. I think my first game was UTSA.
Yeah, that's right.
And so, during that time and during COVID, I'm seeing all this stuff happen. I'm like, bro, this is an opportunity for me to actually, I'm at BYU, a school where people are blinded to what's going on. I'm at a school where I'm in a place where, Black Lives Matter is the worst thing happening on earth because of what the funding and what everything else and what all they're promoting, and I mean, at the time I understood that, but at the time I wanted to show people, okay, but besides the politics, let's get to the real spiel of, all right, this is what's happening in America to all these different races. Even you see Hispanics right now in ICE and all this other stuff. And it's like, y'all missing the principle of it. like people are getting taken from schools and away from their parents. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you have, you know, people on the streets that are getting like arrested and killed for X, Y, and Z, for having an ounce of weed on them when they probably smoking they dang stuff at the crib. So it's like, you got all this stuff happening, and that's the principle of it. So let me bring that back to it. And that's what kind of brought forth the video of the Black Lives Matter I did with me, Jaren, you know, shout out Jaren, shout out Kyra, shout out Matt Bushman, Chaz, shout out, who else is in that video?
Kyrus, I believe.
Kyrus Tonga. You know, all these guys were in here and they were so supportive of that. And I was like, that was pretty dope to see. So I love y'all boys for that too, by the way. And it was really a good opportunity for me to like bring that to BYU and show like just love each other. You know, like let's do that. And for me, the injuries, me being injured, if I wasn't injured, I wouldn't have taken a stance on that or anything. I don't think I would have. But
I love that you say that it was one of the best things that happened to you, because I feel like injuries, what they can also do is kind of just give you like, you just take a step back away from like your bubble, your world, you know what I mean? Because before I experienced the same thing, you know what I mean? When I tore my ACL my first year here, it was like, all you thought was like football was my thing. Football is my career. That's who I am. And then when it's like, when that thing is taken away from you, you know, now it's like, oh man, who am I without football? You know what I mean? And I feel like it's a question we all got to face at some point. And I think that's why I'm starting to think about this, but I feel like that's also, we can also talk about why you're successful, you know, post, you know, BYU life. Is because of that, being able to come to that realization early on, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of athletes don't get to experience that, you know what I mean? They don't get to experience that, like, you're more than just a football player, you know? Like, you know, you're a son of God, and there's so many things that he has planned for you.
Stop your own blessings.
Exactly.
Like, by you sitting on the couch being sad about what you got going on is not going to get you nowhere, but in a deep depression.
Yeah.
And like, you gotta realize, like, bro, you a child of God at the end of the day. Man. You got a blessing on the other side of the door waiting for you. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to walk through that door. You feel me?
To open and walk through it, for sure.
It's already unlocked. You just gotta go and grab your blessing,
exactly, bro. So, and one thing that I love, and we talk about a lot in this podcast, but it's the culture that's at BYU created within the football team, and what Kalani does, you know, for the football team. And I think what's awesome is that you were comfortable enough to approach the coaches and the players about, you know, this thing that you wanted to talk about, you know, the Black Lives Matters and all this stuff. And I think it was so awesome that we're in a culture that supports that, you know what I'm saying? Because Kalani talks about all the time, you already know this, our culture is love and learn.
Love and learn.
You know what I'm saying? And that's something that he preaches on, like, to us, you know, day in and day out, you know, is how it's not how we carry ourselves on the field, but off the field, you know what I mean? And I think that's just another, how would you say, like a result of Kalani and who he is as a person, how he's created that culture for the players, you know what I mean? And it's even amplified now that we're on BYU football's on a bigger stage with, you know, Big 12 football and all this stuff that's going on, all the attention that it's getting, to have that man, you know, leading the way. I think it's awesome, right?
Yeah. So, how was it with your injuries? Cause like, I only had a couple injuries where, I mean, I had the shoulder, I had, you know, I had a fractured finger and redshirt that year, but that was just because stay for another year and going to the Big 12. But like, for you, you know, you dealt with some injuries that a lot of people don't ever come back from.
No, for sure.
And you know what I'm saying? So like, for you, how was that been going through it multiple times and just freaking having to push and
bro, I'll be honest with you, man. It definitely was hard, but I think one people don't realize is I've mentioned this before, but coming back from an injury physically, I think it's the easy part. Right. You know what I mean?
You know your body gonna get better.
You know, because you know, and you also have everybody that plays at the level has a mentality of like, you know, you just have that dog mentality where like, nothing like this is gonna stop you. You know what I mean? You're gonna keep going no matter what. And so I feel like that was the easier part. The mental part is the hardest part, like you said. You know what I mean? Trying to figure out, like, man, like the one thing that I do, I feel like this is what, you know, has brought all these blessings to me is taken away from me. But really, in reality, like, I feel what it did for me was a humbling experience. You know what I mean? And helped me understand that I'm, like I said, like I'm more than just a football player. And so, but at the same time, it was something that like I really needed to go through. You know, I've learned so many, you know, personal lessons through my injuries, you know, like not just that I'm more than a football player, but the importance of relying on others. I was a lot of I'll do it myself. I'll figure it out myself. You know what I mean? And I was huge on like just self-reliant. Like I just felt like just the way my upbringing was, it was just like, you know what I mean? I just kind of relied on myself.
When did you start dating your wife?
That was in 22.
Were you did you have your injury then?
Yeah. So
was that like a good help having someone like that in your corner to help you out for real?
Oh, for sure. So when I had my 23 injury, we were married
at that point. Yeah.
And like I said, support, you know what I mean? Going back to what I said about like, that has been the biggest thing. And that's one thing that I learned from my injuries, that like who you surround yourself with is very important. You know what I mean? And when you surround yourself with the right people that, you know, believe in you and support you and love you no matter what, you know what I mean? You can get through anything in life. You know what I mean? Most importantly, obviously you got to believe that you are that guy, you know what I mean? And I feel like every athlete has to have that. But to an extent, it's amazing when you have other people in your corner that believe in that as well. You know what I mean? And are going to be there no matter what. And so I feel like that was the best thing that came from you know, being injured. One of the best things was you know, knowing that the corner that I had
to cuddle up
and having, like I said, bro. Like my wife was a huge part of, you know, my recovery, you know what I mean? And having her support.
Blank. Shout out his wife.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my baby Taylor. I love you. You know, and then my daughter as well. You know,
so people, I want people to be nosy. Well, let me go ahead and look it up.
No, but I mean, and then obviously her background and things like that, I know, being a trainer and all that stuff helped a lot, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, besides the point, it's just the mental side of it, just having that support, you know, from those people, you know, from my family and her and things of that sort.
Your family all the way in California too.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
And that's another challenge, you know, you away from family, bro. Like
that's another part, bro.
My mom wasn't out here with me when I was going through it. Like I had her, I'm on a call with her, you feel me? So that goes to testament how, like when y'all are in, people are in college, or when y'all are in college, man, it's like surround yourself around people that's going to elevate you and like it's progressive and you see the progression in you. That's the people you need to be around, bro.
Yeah, I agree, man. And don't just surround yourself with people that are just a bunch of, you know, yes mans, you know what I mean? Like people that are going to tell you straight up, you know, the reality of things and, you know, be real with you, because those people are important too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we can people forget. You can agree. We can agree to disagree.
Exactly,
you
bro.
Being around people that's only going to take your side of the story aren't people that you need to be around.
Yeah.
Like if I need some advice about, you know, me and my girl or something, and whatever the case going on, and you telling me I'm just right, I'm right, I ain't doing nothing wrong, and the situation keeps happening, something need to change.
Exactly.
You gotta tell me the other side, whereas I gotta change and I gotta fix something so the relationship can work, or whatever it is can work.
Yeah.
So like you gotta don't have people in your corner that's just always gonna tell you that you're right, bro, because you're not always right at the end of the day. You need to be wrong. Failure is how you become successful in the first place, bro.
Facts.
So,
like, true, man.
Keep it.
Like, I guess that'll carry us into this next bit, bro, because like obviously we talked about, you know, the support system and, you know, how important it is to surround yourself with great people. And I feel like even more so, I think when it comes to the transitioning, you know, life after football, you know, after, you know, your collegiate career, especially with, you know, with the career that you had at BYU and stuff like that. Kind of talk about, you know, the moment you realized that's like, okay, you know what I mean? It's time to pivot, you know what I mean? And then kind of what went through your mind during that moment, you know, and it's all like, you know, like what's going to happen now? Or did you have something planned already? Or was it like, you know, premeditated before you even came to that? So
I didn't take any classes. So the year I got hurt, or I fractured like a finger. Yeah. They were like, I mean, I got hurt. It was pretty much God saying like, all right, you got hurt on the fourth game. We played in Wyoming. And, you know, I get an injury happened. I just went for a tackle. Yeah, and I think it just fractured, and then I'm over here pulling my finger. I'm thinking it's just jammed or something, and it's just still hurting. I take my finger off, the whole finger swollen, blah blah blah. Yeah, and I had like a spiral fracture, so I think they said if it did break, it would be kind of bad. But it happened on the fourth game.
Was this in 2022, right? Yeah,
yeah. And we played Wyoming at home. And that was the fourth game of the season. And, you know, if you can't play more than 4 or you can't redshirt. And I never used my redshirt. Yeah. So they were like, I mean, it might be smart for you to redshirt so you're not playing with the cast on. If you think you can play with the cast on, then shoot, go for it. Yeah. But this is going to be your last one. Yeah. And so they were like, you know, redshirt. And then the next year we're in the Big 12. Yep. And NIL is still a thing. So you also don't know what that's going to look like. Yeah. So it was really a good opportunity. But then coaches ended up leaving. Yeah. So they went to Northern Colorado. Shout out Coach Lamb. You know, I was just talking the other day. But You know, they're doing great. They got their win. Shout out North Colorado. But you know, they told me to redshirt and I redshirted. And so that next year I'm like, you know, with the new coaches dealing with that, I've never dealt with having a new coach. There's people like Caleb Hayes who have been through 4 different DB coaches in his career, 5 different DB coaches in his career.
He kind of understands how to,
I don't know how that works. And, you know, for me, it was very eye-opening because they might be looking at you like I would have never recruited you.
Yeah.
Or this is not the type of player that I want on the field personally. Yeah. And I didn't really realize that was really a thing. I thought it was really a collective thing. Like, you know, all you coaches agree on something. You know what I'm saying? Or the best person at the end of the day is going to play.
Yeah.
And so, you know, going through that, you know, I was actually, sorry, to answer your question, during that time, I was trying to get my real estate license.
Yeah, okay.
So I was studying to get my real estate license the whole 2023, that whole like fall camp and stuff.
Yeah.
I was trying to get my real estate license and I was, you know, working on it. I'm studying because I'm not really taking any classes. And there came a time where it was a spring ball and, you know, a coach asked, you know, what's going on?
Yeah.
Or why did you have, you know, this is bad practice or whatever. Uh-huh. And I'm like, shoot, I don't know. I just had a bad practice.
Yeah.
Or, you know, blah, blah, blah. He's like, are you doing anything else? I'm like, I'm studying to get my real estate license. And the conversation pretty much was like, that's what stopped me from having good practices or whatever the case may be. So, you know, I stopped really focusing on that. And so really just focused on football.
Yeah.
And then the season comes around, you know, I'm doing whatever. And that's when things got a lot tricky, where it was like, you know, Southern Utah came, they threw a touchdown, you know, like over my head. And, you know, that was one thing. Then there was a play where they ran it for 30 yards and I tackled, saved a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, it wasn't like a terrible game, but that game I'm getting criticized a lot for. And it's fine. It's football. It is what it is. Let's move on to the next. Then you go on to the next game. Who did we play after SUU? It was like I
forgot who we had.
I don't know why I'm blanking.
Me too, bro.
But long story short, you know, there's times where I'm missing a couple of tackles in the game.
You gonna make plays, I'm
making plays and missing plays.
It happens, yeah.
And it came to a point where, all right, now I'm starting to see less and less reps in practice and all this other stuff. And I'm like, all right, it's kind of new because I've been a 4-year starter at BYU for a while, and all of a sudden, so I'm working. I got grit. Let me put my head down and start working. Maybe there's a lot of things I don't agree with the coach and what he's saying in terms of my effort, but like, shoot, I'm doing all I can, brother.
Yeah.
So, I think during that time it was very hard because I found myself making mistakes and getting taken out of the game and just like not playing the whole rest of the game based off one mistake.
Yeah. We
still end up losing 40 to whatever.
Yeah. And
it's as if, you know,
this is 23, right?
Yeah, 23. You know, it's like you play in TCU and, you know, I missed it. I mean, like I hit the dude. He is, obviously I didn't wrap up. He didn't go down. He ran it for the touchdown. There's another cornerback that's making the tackle too. And things happen, whatever. I get taken out. I don't see the field at all. And, you know, at this point, all the safeties are getting rotated in and out, in and out, in and out. And I'm like, damn, bro, this is my senior year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to see the field or something. Like, I'm not trying to have that be my only play on freaking tape. For these scouts to see. At least let me redeem myself. Keep me in the game for the first quarter, second quarter, or whatever. And it was just very hard for me. And I'm just like, mentally, I don't know what to do. I don't know whether or not to give up because obviously it seems as if I'm not going to be seeing the field anymore. Or do I keep trying and going, you know, practicing, doing all I can to see the field? And you know, that's kind of what happened. I kept trying, and that's what led up to me starting against TCU again was my effort. You know, it was me just grinding it.
Exactly.
Then it's like all that grind just for you to make a mistake and get put out the game for the whole game. And it's like, so what is all this effort for if I'm just going to be taken out of the game for one mistake? And everybody else on the field is also making mistakes too. As a collective, we lost 45 to freaking 20 or whatever, you know? So to me, it was just very odd and it was just very weird.
Yeah.
You know? So not to get too deep into it, but it was just, it was just weird. So
how do you feel like, cause obviously, that is definitely some, like tribulation you've been through, you know what I mean? And how's that like, you know, especially dealing with that your senior year, you know what I mean? That's tough, you know what I mean?
Bro.
And it mentally can be, but like, do you feel like that somehow preface to what's going on, transitioning into like life after ball?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I started thinking about what it is I actually want to do. I'm like, if it's not football, because at this point I'm realizing, you know, how detrimental this can be. So if I'm in the NFL, it's going to be 10 times worse.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if it's not football, what is it going to be then?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't truly know what was going to be. I'm like, I just spent my time really just going through, not necessarily going through the motions, but not genuinely thinking about what I want my career to be.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking about it, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I just want to work for myself and do something.
Yeah.
I know I'm super creative and I do these dope things, but what, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it kind of led to me not even doing pro day.
Yeah.
It led to me not even, you know, trying to UFL or anything. Because I kind of already knew where my path was going to go in the NFL.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't going to get drafted. I mean,
free agent.
I could be a free,
you for sure would have been on the team, but it's like the uncertainty of like, you know what I mean, like making a team and then the possibility of bouncing around. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things. If you know, there's a lot of factors you got to consider for sure.
And a part of me should have just been like, you know, should have just did it regardless of who it was. You know, I shouldn't have let other people dictate, you know, my outcome or dictate, you know, or discourage me to do those things. So for me, I'm like, and it's too, I think it comes with the support too. Like, I wish, you know, my mom's like, whatever you do, baby, I do it. So, so I didn't really have people that's like, bro, no, keep playing, push it, bro. Like, don't worry about that, bro. I didn't really have people telling me that. Yeah. I was just in my own head I was literally just in my own head pretty much. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, bro, I don't know what to do. This is not going my way. Obviously, if the NFL is going to be the same way and I'm going to be bouncing around and all this other stuff, why not just figure out my career now? Yeah. So I was just like, instead of me, I'm not going to say wasting time, but instead of me putting my time into that, into something that I already know was going to happen.
Time and effort to something you feel like.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Put my time and effort to figure out who I am and actually what I wanted to do in my life.
And a lot of people don't understand. Like that's a whole nother, and I think people see it.
It take courage, bro.
When I tell you, like I've experienced it not firsthand, but you know, secondhand from my wife. You know what I mean? Her playing soccer, because afterwards she got done. She went back and played at UVU. You know what I mean? She got healthy again because she tore her ACL. That's how she ended up at BYU, and that's how we met. I mean, maybe that's the reason of her injury. You know, I always say, hey,
shared experiences, bro.
You know, and then we ended up meeting, and then we got married. But then she healed up from her knee injuries, and then she went back and played, you know, D1 soccer, and that was a whole different experience. And I mean, after you're done playing, you know what I mean, and then you know, obviously the pros is something you want to shoot for, you know, but then it's like she went through like an identity, you know, like kind of like, who am I, you know, and it was something that it was like an eye opener for me, you know what I mean? And not a lot of athletes can see that far in the future sometimes because you're so, you know, caught up in the limelight and everything that's going on now, you know what I mean?
Life is easy. Life is just on auto.
Auto right now, you know what I mean? Everything's done for you, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like seeing that and still, you know, playing at that time, you know, it was my 23 season. I was hurt that year, so I was still coming back for last year, the 24 season, right? And so I was just getting healthy that season, and seeing her go through that and kind of like helping her with that was a huge eye opener for me. Like I said, you know what I mean? And like it was something that I honestly changed my perspective on how I look at other guys or other people that are transitioning into life. You know what I mean? Like people don't understand when all you do your entire life 24/7 is one thing, and then all of a sudden now that thing is gone. It's like, you know, you got to pivot, and it's like trying to figure out what's next. Where can I put this? Because you know the work ethic you got. You know what I mean? You know the talent and the, you know, the things that you bring to the table. And it's like, where I know I can be successful in whatever it is that I want to do. Right. The problem is, what is it that I want to do? Because football is only, you know, whatever the sport is has been the main thing in my life. And so, I guess the question is like, now you're kind of dabbled in a lot of different things. Bro, you know what I mean? Like
one thing I'm gonna tell everybody, bro, take every single opportunity given to you, bro.
Love that.
Like, I don't understand why it's like people always want to say just choose something and then do it. Like, I get it. I get it. Do one thing and put your 100% effort into it, and you will reap 100% of what you sow from that. But for me, I'm like, bro, I'm 24, 23 years old at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, all right, cool. If they asked me to do the MC job last year, and I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I don't know what it's going to entail me to do. All right, cool. I got to talk in front of 65,000, hype them up, and I got to do a promo here and there. I'll do it because you never know what opportunity is going to come out of that.
Exactly.
If you can move, for me, I'm thinking of it like this. If I can move 65,000 people to do a certain thing, or I can catch the attention of 65,000 people, who knows what other crowds that I can talk to, or what people I can talk to, or who may need somebody like me to talk to their people, their employees, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's an opportunity in itself. And then, you know, for me, I'm dabbling into the clothing stuff. I love clothes. You know, I love dressing up and doing everything. If I had the money for
Ordinary People.
Yeah, shout out Ordinary People, dog.
Yeah, check it out.
And, you know, I was like, cool. I love, you know, clothing, but also I love the story that a brand can tell and just making a brand regardless of what I'm selling. And
kind of talk about that then.
Yeah.
So obviously you have that brand, Ordinary People, you know, and talk about the inspiration behind that. And
bro, I legit woke up. It was like, I woke up, I had, I can't sound so cliche, but I seriously had a dream about my mom always told me, you're going to be in a suit one day. And I had a dream of just being the most, like, I was just successful. I'm in a suit, I'm rolling. Yeah. I drop off the whip. I'm walking in the tall 16th floor. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's really that's like the only part of the dream I remember. And I'm like, what's going to get me to that point? Yeah. And I think for me, I started thinking of, you know, brand names, just the brand. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I was like, let's just do a brand. And I started thinking of Ordinary People just because I love the song with John Legend, Ordinary People, and I love the message behind it. But I also looked at what I was best at, and I thought looking through high school, and looking through now, I was friends with everybody in high school. Like I wasn't like the football jock. I was cool in football, and I was the only person on my team who probably had like a Division I offer at the time. But I never walked around like I was cool. I went to the cool kids. I went to the nerdy kids and the quiet. You see the kids who got the disabilities in the middle dancing. Hey, we dancing with them. Like, you know, we bringing joy to everybody that we meeting. And it was me and my homeboy, Kyle Johnson. Shout out Kyle. He played basketball in Finland right now. Yeah. But like me and him, we was best friends. It was us two with the whole people. So
surviving everybody.
Yeah. And in college, I felt the same way too, where I was like, I had my group of friends. I had, you know, D-Lo, Chaz, Keenan,
but
whatever.
the thing is though, you kicked it with all of us.
You kicked it with everybody. You feel me? I was
like,
cool.
It didn't matter who it was. Everybody has their groups and stuff like that, but I felt like you was able to kick it with every position group.
Exactly.
Like everybody knew. Yeah.
So I was like, cool. Like for me, I'm just like an ordinary person at the end of the day. Like I saw people, I didn't see people as whatever they portrayed themselves
the status
as,
or like their social status or whatever it is.
At the end of the day, I could be talking to Michael Jackson. I'm like, dang, you done did a lot, my MJ. But like at the end of the day, we're human beings. Like you still got a life too. I'm never gonna go up and take a picture of your face all because you're just famous. Like you got feelings too. Yeah. And for me, I'm like, Ordinary People fits perfect with that because I want to be able to make a movement where everyone just realizes like we're all just ordinary people. We all bleed the same color red. We all go through these emotions and we become closer to one another based off of our shared experiences. Yeah. Things that we've gone through in this ordinary life that we live. So it's cool that, you know, you might be playing football in front of 65,000 people. But I can still be cool with, you know, Jeffrey in my humanities class because me and him done been through the same things. Like your status should not matter, or whatever extraordinary thing you're doing shouldn't matter, or it shouldn't overcome or overtake the ordinary things that you've been through to get to that point. So use those shared experiences to help everybody else out. And that's the goal of the brand, is to highlight those shared experiences and highlight those joy moments, highlight those moments of sadness. And we build from that and we become extraordinary together, and we, you know, do things we explore each other's passions and do this, that, and the third. And that's really the goal. I just want to bring everybody together, no matter who they are. And clothing is a dope way to do it because I might have this t-shirt on, but you might wear this t-shirt a different way based off of how you love
How
it.
you feel, yeah,
feel
true.
me? So that hence why, you know, the t-shirt I made is so simple. It's just a white tee with a stick man on it and a patch that says be you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's such a simple shirt, but it's how you want to wear it is how it matters, you know? Like what that meaning, what be you means is what you
what you interpret it to be.
Because at the end of the day, I'm not you.
Yeah.
But
nice. I love that.
It's just simplicity, and that's kind of the goal. I want to keep it, you know, very simple, but I want to have, you know, the meaning behind it be super vague and big so that everybody can kind of relate to it somehow in some way, or find other people that relate to it on their same level.
Yeah.
And I think it's dope because I just want the opportunity to talk to everybody and to like really do stuff like this. Like I need to start doing like interviews with people who've been through it all, bro.
Your personality, you for sure, man.
So like do some type of mini podcast or something, bro. I think that would be pretty dope. But you know, it's just like, you know, I want people's stories to get out there. I want people to have a story and to share it. Like whether you've been through, you know, abuse or whether you've been through, you know, these, you know, whatever. I'm sorry I used that as an example, the first one. But any negative thing or any positive thing. Like, bro, come talk to me and like let's highlight it and like let's bring light to it so that everybody else can freaking have a reason to relate to you, you know?
I love that. So, I love that, Leak. Man, shoot, as we come into the close of this, I guess there's just a couple more questions that I got for you, you know? Obviously now that you dabble a little bit in emceeing for BYU football teams, how's the experience different? How's the adrenaline different probably from making plays in front of 60,000 to trying to get them to do things, you know what I mean, and participate in the games and get them involved. Like you're very much still involved in game day, you know, in the game day atmosphere. Talk about that. How is it?
You got your helmet on the field versus your face on the camera, and you gotta and your mic and.
Dude, I feel like I'll be over there just stuttering, bro. Like what is? Like I struggle to get this in one take sometimes, bro. So like, bro, you know,
I remember like this last game. I was in the rock section. I was like, hey, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to say, Cougar friends, how we feeling? And I'm going to pause and I'm going to have all y'all say we good. And I'm going to say it again. And then I'm going to be like, all right, we need this place jumping, bumping, da-da-da. And then I'm going to give it to him and he going to say, let's get a turn. Let's turn me up. Man, that did not go as planned, bro. I'm like, how everybody feeling? And I go, all right, man. I'm speeding the whole process up because I'm so scared and I don't even hear myself. I have earbuds in. I'm like, I don't know if my mic is even on or anything, bro. So
would you say it's harder to get 60,000 people to do something
at BYU Stadium? No.
Okay.
But it's always a nervousness of what if it doesn't go the way as planned.
Yeah.
Like, because after I had got down, I saw people standing up and I'm like, okay, cool. I need to figure out how to get them to stand up. And then, stand up and then, you know, do the whole spiel. And then do the whole, you know, because it'll get people way more involved.
Yeah.
But we got some cool things coming. Like, you know, I'm trying to get, you know, inflatable races and stuff. Like I'm trying to do a whole bunch of dope stuff. But at the same time, like, it's definitely a challenge trying to get everybody. I mean, at LAS is easy. The Rock is so easy to really please, but it's just the fact that you're really up there just talking and doing
and your face is like constantly on the screen.
Yeah,
you know what
bro.
I mean? It's different when you're out there on the field making plays. Like you got your helmet on.
Facts.
You know what I mean? You ain't got to talk or anything. You know, you just let your play talk.
Exactly. But it's cool because I'm also, you know, going into, you know, BYU merch and stuff like that too. So I'm like, it's a really good opportunity for me to even like put that on display.
That's
you know,
dope.
when I got my beanies on, I got, you know what I'm saying?
BYU ordinary people collab.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
it's coming.
Cool.
October. Come Utah game, bro. Y'all gonna have them. So
that's cool.
Like, I'm just really, I think it's dope. And who knows what it's gonna,
what's gonna
happen with it.
And that's awesome, man. I love the way you approach life and the way you kind of just carry yourself. And I think that's why people love being around you. You know what I mean? I think, to be honest, is a big reason to why you're successful, you know, post, you know, and the thing is though, the thing to understand, you're continuously evolving, you know what I mean?
Got to,
continue finding different things that you finding interest in and continue just look for opportunities, you know what I mean? And I feel like, I guess to kind of close off, what is like one piece of advice? You know, we always ask everyone that comes on this podcast that, you know, because obviously you guys are all successful. Everybody's been here has all been successful in their own right and whatever it is. But you've been successful, not just, you know, in football and your career here at BYU, but also post, still being involved in with BYU football and then everything else you're dabbling in.
Yeah.
What's a piece of advice that you would give to, the younger generation or like young athletes, maybe not even young athletes, just our young viewers, people that are trying to, create something out of their life or maybe pursue sports or whatever it is? What's one thing that you feel like helped you get to where you are now?
I think one thing that's helped me was like I said before, take every single opportunity that's given to you and go with it and run with it. Like, people may be asking you to do something because they believe in you. Like, when they asked me to do the MC stuff, it's because Miss Anna Metcalf thought that I would be a great fit for it. She thought like she believed in me. So like, take that and like do what you do, do what you want to do, but take the opportunity. Don't think about what everybody else gonna say. Yeah. People saying to me, there was comments, or not comments, but there was a comment someone made to me talking. They're like, yeah, bro, stay relevant. And it's like, it's not about me staying relevant.
Yeah.
It's about the opportunity that this is gonna bring to me in the future or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? People
you got those, you always gonna have those keyboard warriors that are just,
Exactly. But people who do what I do at the games, they'll get paid $80,000 to do it for 60 games out the season.
Yes.
They get paid $80,000 for 3-4 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And then you have your whatever day job that you do for the rest of the 6 months, 5 months. You're making, like, do the math, you can make good money doing it. So it's like, and money's not everything, but opportunity, I want to show people, I want to talk to people. So I'm going to take that opportunity and be like, I can talk to big crowds. So I did this for 2 years. Let me do this at a school full of kids and be a motivate and be a speaker and be a mentor for these kids.
Love it.
And go around talking to colleges. And that's the end goal for me is like, that's what I want to do. This is practice. So take every piece of advice. Don't listen to what everybody says. And I struggle with it too, especially having a clothing brand, bro. Like, people are like, you have to post. And I'm like, nah, I don't know. Cause it's just, you go through that imposter syndrome and you go through these different emotions of what are people going to think. And it's like, at the end of the day, bro, just do it. Just just post and do what you can. So, that's kind of the hump that I actually been trying to get over. And, that's what's stopping me from being as successful as I can be. So, wherever you're at in life, bro, like, it's not where you're going to be forever. So, but in order for that to happen, you got to keep going and keep, going, just keep working.
Exactly.
So, take every step opportunity, take every opportunity. Don't listen to everybody, and don't take these injuries and things that's going on in college so to heart and asking God why, but instead pray to God and be like, and ask him, what blessing do you have for me? What are you trying to tell me right now? What am I slowing my life down for right now? You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you don't know yourself, learn yourself. Feel like you don't know, if it wasn't for football, you don't know what you want to do, go explore that. These kids got NIL money now. Like, bro, y'all can go out and start a business. If it fails, it fails. Or you can go out and start you can start whatever hobby you want to start.
Yeah.
And find out who you are. And once you're done with football, you're like, bro, I really loved, for instance, I really loved building Legos.
Yeah.
But I'm really good at math. Oh, put 2 and 2 together, you're a freaking architect.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what.
Facts.
I mean, not trying to put architect to Legos, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
no, I get you.
So
Love
do what you want to do. But at the end of the day, be you, bro. Stay ordinary, people.
Yes, sir.
Like, at the end of the day. But I got a question for you, though.
For me?
Fool. What you got going on? Because you in that transition where you don't know whether you trying to play or whether you not. You stuck between when to start your transition or if that transition even gonna start anytime soon. So tell people like what you got going on, because I don't know either.
Shoot.
So
well, I guess it's that time too to kind of share about that. But yeah, man. So we actually got news from the NCAA. My year got denied, right? And so the redshirt year got denied, and it was tough. You know what I mean? I played in that one game. It's literally one play where I took a knee in 21 is literally the play that
they decided on
is that's like, oh, he's still competing in 5 games over the 4-game redshirt threshold, whatever. And so It's tough, but we sent in another appeal with some more evidence and things of that sort, and so it's all in the process right now. They're feeling confident about things and things of that sort. So I'm really just staying ready. You know what I mean, for whatever opportunities to if I end up playing at the end of the season, whatever it is, being able to play is being able to play. At least I can get some film off of this year to show that I'm healthy and ready to go, because I was hurt last year, you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously, I missed like a total of 5 games, and then 2 towards the end of the season, you know what I mean, from a knee injury. And so, and that's the biggest thing right now, just staying ready for whenever we get that call and we're it's green light. That's crazy. And once it's green light,
So what do you think? What do you think is what would you say is your biggest piece of advice for people who your situation is very unique, but at the end of the day, there's still people out there that don't know if their career, if they're still juggling whether or not it's going to happen. Sure. So, I mean, what's been keeping you afloat for real? And what's been helping you out the most in this situation? I feel
the biggest thing is like I said, it's my support system, but it's also just my faith. You know what I mean? My faith in God's plan for me. You know what I mean? I feel like when you have that faith in yourself, it's always, I call it Godfidence, not confidence.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily confidence in myself and my abilities, although I am confident in that, but it's really, my confidence in God's plan for me, you know what I mean? And that whatever it is that I put my mind to, whatever it is that I want to, be successful in, I know I can achieve with his help, you know what I mean? Right. As long as I put him first in everything that I do. And I feel like he'll continue to direct my path. If this is not what it's for, he'll let me know. And so that's been the biggest thing. Me and my wife talked about it the other day. It's a weird situation that I'm in right now. You know what I mean? Because you're in the in-between.
Well, you a roller coaster right now.
Yeah. I mean, like right before we got on here, you know what I mean? Like phone calls and like trying to figure out things. So like it's definitely a constant, like you say, like up and down thing. But just like in football, you just got to stay even keeled the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, hope for the best, prepare for the worst, right? And then that's been the biggest thing. Is like, I think in my head, like I know where I want to be with this football thing and where I want to take it. And I think it's like I owe it to myself to see it out. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then I'm excited for my life after football. You know what I mean? What I can do, and I got opportunities waiting for that. But it's like, I feel like I want to see this all the way through. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I know what I can do. I feel as probably the most healthy I've ever felt. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing is, dropping my way back to where I played in 22 and all these other factors. So it's like the biggest thing that helped me get to where I am is really, like my support system. And like I mentioned before, and then really just understanding that, God has a plan, you know what I mean? And it's like, regardless. And I think I saw this, my wife sent me something on social media. I saw the other day, she saw the other day. And I think it's great. Sometimes, sometimes God is like, it's the longer road. Just because it's the longer way or, it's the longer route or whatever it is, doesn't mean it's the wrong way. You know what I mean? And sometimes it can feel like that, especially for me in this position. It's like, dude, like it got denied and I'm waiting, send an appeal and I'm still waiting. You know what I mean? Sometimes it can the thoughts of like, bro, it's probably time to just, like hang it up prep for pro day, you know what I mean? Or whatever, all these other things and things of that sort. But like again, I always just think about, I set out to finish this thing, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm going to do. And I feel that's just the type of person I've always been when it came to football. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I still have that passion to play, you know what I mean? And so I'm going to see it all the way through, you know what I mean? And if that puts me in the position to play again this year for BYU, let's run it. You know what I mean? I'm excited to get back out there and, point out to, Malik out there in the NFC corner, you know what I'm saying? It's all that stuff. But I'm excited, brother. So, but if it doesn't go that way, I'm excited for what's after. I'm still prep for pro day.
I got a whole family and everything, bro.
Yeah. I got, and that's like I said, my support system with my wife, my family, her family, and then my beautiful daughter, man, that's been like, it's amazing when you have a kid, how much, your perspective changes. She's gonna be the next she's gonna be the next great soccer player. That's man, for sure. Whatever it is she wants to do in life, man, I'll fully support her. I just want her to, just be the best person she can be. And so it's gonna be fun, bro. So, but yeah, man, that's what I got going on. But Lee, like again, bro, I appreciate you seriously for coming on today, bro.
Yeah.
And just dropping gems, man, for the younger generation and our viewers, and just sharing your story and what you got going on, brother.
Thanks, bro.
You already know, man, you're always a beloved member of the Cougar family. Cougar Nation knows you very well. You know what I mean? So for them to get a little insight of what you're doing now, post BYU football, it's awesome, bro. And I appreciate you, big dog.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you having me, bro.
Yes, sir.
Keep that smile on your face, boy. Telling you, look at that boy. That's white as know.
This boy for sure got the best smile. But anyways, again, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Another episode of Inside the Why. Keep checking us out. Check out our previous episodes on whatever it is you get your podcast on, whether it's Apple Music, Spotify, or YouTube. Peace. Appreciate y'all.